A behavior that comes up fairly often in change management or when you're pushing people who are stressed out, or even worse, in burnout because they have this natural distrust in relationships, is blame shifting behavior. And blame shifting is exactly like it sounds, that you are blaming others for your circumstances. You're playing the victim. You are not taking responsibility for your own decisions, your own actions, and it may even compound itself out of control. And now you don't even see that you had anything to do with the initial action of the shift. And why this is contributing to stress is this culture of distrust and this culture of like labeling people on social media. It's hostile and it takes on its own life form, and it can increase the gossip and drama and tension in between relationships that may have been minimal or not even there in the first place. And so when you can actually have conversations about accountability and get people out of this burnout state where they naturally are distrusting everyone because everyone's a threat to them, their nervous system is in defense mode, you can actually start to move things from this victim mode into a creator mode, which means they take ownership of their own actions regardless of the response and actions of others, and they can start to step forward and control what they can. And when I do these burnout programs, when I do these workforce energy management programs, it takes a mindset shift to get people into that mode, that things are happening to them. Things have always been happening to us. Stress has been here. Stress will always be. And it's our response to it that matters. You can only control you. You can only control your actions, your response, your communication, what you do tomorrow, how you think, how you take care of yourself. 100% in your control. And that was a difficult concept when I was in my burnout collapse. That was a difficult concept to say, my employer isn't doing this to me. I'm doing this to me. It was very difficult for the toxic relationships I was around to say, they're doing this to me, and that's why I'm so sick. That's why I'm burnt out. Certainly, there's variables from my stressful job. There's variables from the toxic relationships that weren't supportive and feeding that toxic hustle culture around me. But I can't control any of that. That's exhausting. To focus all my energy on other people that I can't control anything that they're doing. So when you can take that back, when you can do the blame shift and change it to accountability, right? We're not going to do blame and guilt and shame on ourselves. That's not going to help either. We're going to take accountability. All right, we're moving out of this victim mode and into the creator. We're going to take responsibility for what we can control. I can control the people I'm around. I can control where I work. I control my boundaries and how much I work. Is it hard? Yes. But it's way better than sitting there playing the blame game day after day. Nothing's changing. It's just getting worse. So fostering a culture in work to have this conversation of accountability is important. So that means we own our mistakes and we can talk about our mistakes in a way that is safe. That's psychological safety. We can talk about failures and how we're going to move forward because we open the conversation to it instead of punishing people for it. When you punish people constantly for bringing up mistakes, bringing up holes or gaps in your operation, you're creating a culture of distrust and hostility that people will start hiding things. You will see this in other cultures. And we were an international company, so I saw it in other cultures and other manufacturing plants that employees would hide things because the penalty for failure was so large that they would hide it and hope that they get away with it. Versus if you make a mistake, come to us and we can probably fix it early enough where we don't have all this waste, all this scrap, all these quality issues, all these customer issues later, right? It's a high trust, failure forward type of culture, which leads the workforce towards encouraging individuals to be part of the solution. Okay, I messed up. And I messed up because this, and this. How can we fix that? I messed up because this resource wasn't available. How can we make it more available? I messed up because I was never trained. Okay, how can we get to a point where everyone is trained so we don't make this mistake again? When you can embrace failure forward, it naturally creates accountability. And all that blame shift that's exhausting and we're just wasting energy, throwing it away, actually gets re-energizing because we step into innovation and creativity and solution-oriented questions. So addressing the blame shifting behavior shouldn't be done in punishment. It should be done addressing what's in our control, how to have those healthy conflict conversations so that we can fail forward, creating trust instead of creating a toxic culture, not only at work, but at home, of more stress, more burnout, and things that were never in our control.